In this lesson, we will learn what are scope of variables in Java. With that, we will also see the types of variable scopes. In the end, we will also run an example. So let us start. In Java, the scope of a variable defines where it can be accessed in a program. Variables have different scopes depending on where they are declared. So the scopes are defined as variables accessible only within the method, variables accessible by instances of the class, and variables accessible by the class itself. So this defines the three types of variables or scopes in Java as well, which are local variables, instance variables, and class variables. So these are the three types of variables in Java. You can also call it as the variable scope in Java. The first one is local variable. Local variables are declared inside a method or block. It is only accessible within that method. It should be initialized before use. Its lifetime exists only while the method is executing. So here we have created a local variable, that is int rank is equal to 10. That means it is an integer variable. So this is how you can create a local variable. Then comes your instance variables. This has a class level scope. It is declared inside a class but outside methods. Each object of the class gets its own copy. It is accessible by all methods of the class except static methods. Its lifetime is that it exists as long as the object exists in memory. So this is how we can create an instance variable, but later on we will also see a complete example to understand all the three types of variables. Now we have our class variable, that is static variables. They have class scope. A static variable is declared with the static keyword inside a class. It is shared across all objects of the class. It can be accessed using the class name directly. Lifetime, it exists until the program terminates. So this is how we can create a class or static variable. We need to use the static keyword just before the data type name. So here we have created static int fees, that is an integer static variable fees. Now let us see an example to work with all the three local, instance and class variables in Java. Here is our VS Code. We already created our project and added Java files. Now our next example, that is scope of variables in Java. Okay, so our class name is demo3. After that we have added two variables. The first one is an instance variable and the second one is a static variable. After that we created a custom method college details. Within that we have assigned a local variable. The scope of the local variable will only be inside the same method or block. That is the college details method. And we have printed college ID and rank here. That is the following ID and the following rank. After that we created our public static void main, that is our main function. This is where your program begins, that is your application starts. We have created an object of our class demo and assigned 3000 to the fees variable. After that we are printing this college monthly fees. Okay. And later on using the same object we are calling the college details function. Okay. Now we will run the code and understand it. Right click and run code. Here it is. First it printed the monthly fees, then the ID and then rank. The JVM loads the demo3 class and at this point the static variable fees is allocated memory, that is the default value is equal to 0. Then the execution starts here under the main function. The JVM looks for the main method and starts execution there. First the object is created, that is st. The instance variable ID is initialized with value 5. Here it is. Okay. The static variable fees is updated to 3000. Since it's static, the value is shared across all objects of the class. Then we are printing a static variable, that is fees. Here it is a static variable. Okay. So our output will be college monthly fees is equal to 3000. This was our first output. After that we are calling the instance method. The control goes to the college details method, that is the following. Inside college details, a local variable rank is created with value 10. This is a local variable. This method prints college ID, which is 5, and the rank, which is 10. So the output will be college monthly fees to begin with, then the college ID, and then the rank. So in this way we can work with the three types of variables in Java. Remember, after college details finishes, the local variable rank is destroyed. So in this way we can work with the scope of variables in Java. Thank you for watching the video.